Well, I didn't get to stream this on Wednesday because of terrible weather. Which is quite unfortunate. It is now Tuesday, like a week later. But I did a little bit of work off camera. You can see that I raised like 14,000 gil. That seems like a lot, but believe you me, we are going to burn quite a bit of it in just a moment here. As soon as the game loads up. Which admit is a little bit slow to do. Pop on into the weapon and armor shop here. Because we want to get ourselves some of these. That's right, we discussed the rods last time. And they are basically going to be used to cast some pretty big spells at some enemies as needed. You can tell I'm still quite bad at the words. That part hasn't changed since last time. So we got ourselves a Mithril Sword and Mithril Shield. Got a Flail. Everybody is currently holding on to that. Some Mithril Swords. Rods are primarily going to be used by Ferris in order to blow up certain enemies as we need to. And for now, Galuff is staying a white mage. You may be wondering, why did you pronounce it like Galuff? And that's a good question. Because I'm an idiot, that's why. I'm just a big ol' clown. Not entirely unlike our friend Kefka. Mr. Palazzo, who was a raid boss recently in Final Fantasy XIV. No, I did not do that. I did not attempt the ultimate. Don't be ridiculous, I'm not that good at video games. Let's grab ourselves a couple of Mithril Gloves here. As I am hoping that those will be a little bit better for our fellas in these other shoes. It's more useful in some way or another. And it takes away a tiny bit of magic defense, but it gives us 2 more regular defense, with which I am basically okay. Unfortunately, that screen is not very forthcoming, so that's a bit of a problem. We also have purchased all of the magic that's available to us right now. Do we have access to a regular item shop? I forget. A monster called Cool Dust, huh? Is that what the Crew Dust monster is called now? Is Cool Dust? Its translation? Well, that's very strange. You guys don't sell me items, do you? I was really hoping one of you would have some items for sale, but doesn't really look like it. Darn. Well, that's okay. I probably can't afford a very large amount of pounds anyway, which I would want. So, let's go ahead and just save after we purchase those items, just so that way we don't have to do it again in case we suddenly get wiped. I mean, be dullard. Alright, let's get on the boat. Waiting for us, huh, Sid? What's the deal? Ship's engine is draining the power. Alright, let's go for it. Where are monsters? Yeah, I figured that would probably be the case, right? Come on. It's like any RPG. We've got We've got to fight some monsters on our way through the old fire-powered ship here, huh? And indeed, the fire-powered ship is the full name that is used in later versions. I think around this era it was just referred to as the fire ship, if anything. Got an enemy here called the Defeater, which is a fantastic name. You might think in the back of your head, it's like, oh, well, surely that means it's like killer or something, right? And I don't remember what it is, but it's not that. Surprisingly enough. I like how the flail still sort of makes, like, magic sounds, really. Great job, Galuf. You are doing excellent job of doing damage above 2 with your flail. So, by the standards of a white mage, you're already up ahead of the 8-ball here. Yeah, just the gloves. I wasn't sure, because I'd already forgotten what those were. I think maybe I was like their mithril shoes or something, because what we had taken off for them was leather shoes. Ah, yes, here we go. Cool dust. Not to be confused with crew dust. Not to be confused with coal dust. Not to be confused with Galuf not landing a hit with the flail. We are pretty strong, but I guess that's because we ended up gaining a chunk of experience while we were grinding out that cash. First strike, well, we're not going to see these things cast flash. That much is for sure. Mash that X button. Which is the equivalent here of the B button on the SNES controller. And the A button on the Xbox controller. So I'm using, you know, as sort of a proxy, as it were. Whoa, easy there, game. What's this encounter rate? What am I playing? Earthbound Beginnings or something? Yeah, sorry, I was just watching a friend earlier today playing the Earthbound Beginnings remake ROM hack that was released recently that remakes Mother 1 in Mother 2. Ah, I see. It's inflicted sap on me. That's why it's slip. Oh, wrong person. That's right. Galuf, why don't you get over here and, you'll probably want to use Cure 2 in the future, huh? Well, I don't know how efficient Cure 2 is outside of battle, because I guess it would be as efficient as it is in battle. But that's the thing, is that the higher level Cure spells tend to be less mana efficient because they're more turn efficient, so they're better to use in battle. Again, in my experience, which is not necessarily accurate, but hey. Also, yeah, by the way, that shit's fast. A lot of our HP there. Yeah, see, we've got a little bit of a parallax effect going on here because of the two floors. These doors kind of look like they got, like, cartoony chicken faces on them. Ferris does seem to take a lot of hits, huh? Game's really giving Ferris the business. But we got ourselves a free elixir. That's nice. Oh yeah, we probably should take care of the crew dust real quick, because that thing does the annoying thing to us. Well, I don't think these defeaters inflict statuses, so... That's okay with me. Alright, Galoof, how's about you do some healing here? Because it looks like a lot of folks need it. By that, I mean most of the couple. You and Bart's can stay at not full for a little bit. It's an interesting looking bit of architecture. Excellent. Let us make our way back upstairs. And then get into another encounter on this ladder. Strange place for that to happen, but okay. And I'll drop down these two model traps again. Yeah, you can even see they're kind of like hanging by chains. They get turned eventually. And pretty good damage too, actually. Not gonna lie, I haven't paid the most attention to this fight. But hey. Love Galoof doing AoE heal. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, Ferris still isn't at full, but like... Actually, maybe that's a good cause to go and do another one, because Ferris does tend to take a whooping. Fights. None of these monsters seem to like Ferris that much. It's fucked up. Can you imagine having so little taste? What is wrong with these creatures? That's why... That's the only reason why they're monsters, actually, is just that they have no taste. Clearly. It's a weird setup. Yeah, because there's just a little bit of extra design space over there we can't walk on. It's like, you ever play a Lemmings level and you see all that extra stuff off on the sides? And you're just kind of like, man. Can't really do anything with that, but it looks nice. But there's often that part of you that's like, oh, I really want to go over there. Even though there's just no point to it. Once again, we got some cool dusts here. We should probably take care of them real quick. And the poltergeists, which are incredibly creepy looking. That sprite gets reused later, too, I think, which is an incredible choice. You got something that looks like that, and you're like, yeah, I gotta reuse that. I mean, fair enough, it's pretty good, but also... How exactly does one reuse that, right? Can't get that item. Are we doing, like, no damage to these things? Yikes. I guess it's for the back attack, isn't it? But, wow. And just plow damage into one of them at a time, I guess. This would probably be a really good place for us to take out a fire rod and, you know, at least just to show it off, but still. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like using my resources. That should be enough health for now, I think. Enough healings. Until such time as I discover it isn't. Such as when I get an encounter another 2 steps away. So again, we're going to deal with this thing before we deal with the defeater. So this guy dropped down. Yeah, he drops model traps on us. Okay, game, calm down. Give the weird thing a quick bonk, and... let's do one more. Yeah, I'll top everybody off. Go through a ventilation shaft here. That's kind of neat. I like the way it's presented. This is another elevator. Well, I guess they're both just other elevators. Let's see if this shows us anything useful, you know? Oh, well. Excuse me, I guess we're going the other way. Yep, only one way we can go here. This is probably not necessarily wise to kill this thing first, because he'll drop model traps, surely, but... Or perhaps it won't! Is it only if the defeater is the last enemy in the fight, no matter what? Because if so, well then that's a lot easier to think about. Ooh, a speed drink. Neat. What's that do for us other than give us some speed? Oh, right. This is an in-battle thing. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we can just run through these vents. It's fine. Totally sensible, very safe. Do try this at home, kids. Oh, wait. Yep, the fire-powered ship, which is a thing that just sounds very, very like a... Like, you what? A fire-powered ship, huh? But, yeah, you think about it like, oh, coal-fired or anything like that sort of idea. And suddenly it's a lot more reasonable, but... That didn't do shit. Well, okay. Bolt not being the spell of choice in this area, I suppose. You know, I still haven't really, put this guy's, weapon channeling here to use with the old spell sword, which is called, like, a sorcerer or something in this version. Ooh, that heals that guy, so... Yeah, that's a very strange choice of translation for an enemy that I know better as Crew Dust. I don't know why it ended up as Cool Dust, but, other than just strange choice with the translation, but hey. Wouldn't be the first time. After all, as we know, I am playing the PS1 version. This is the infamous version that caused the Tonberry Dingleberry, so... And we got ourselves a green beret, so that's useful. But also, now I'm just kind of stuck here thinking, well, I pressed the wrong button. But right now I'm just sort of thinking, well, shit, where do I go? Because I guess I have to find a place to turn the, conveyor belts around? Perhaps, because most of the places that I've seen up there are all blocked by... Oh, good lord. This is... I don't like that. You get ourselves a moon ring. That could be pretty nice. Hey. Go back in there. Say what it... Back from back row. Oh, so is that like a throwing weapon instead? Or is that to imply that it's an accessory that gives us the ability to do that? I think it's supposed to be a thrown item, so... Because, yeah, moon ring, that sort of makes sense with, well... There's something that has that sort of reference to the name somewhere. As a common throwing item, I just cannot recall which one offhand. Let's tent up and then save. Ah, yes, I guess they didn't have smooth scrolling in this game. You know what? Let's take out the defeaters in order to make sure that we don't have to deal with any of their shit. As much as the crew dust sapping us is a bad idea, having to deal with even more enemies probably would suck more, so... We can probably hang if we get hit by the sap. Come back here. Need that over here to... There's an item over... Oh, that's incorrect. Hold on a second, I'm trying to hash this out a little bit in my brain here. do that. Take out the weird red mold one first. Alright, so what happens here is it just vibrates. Okay, fair. It'd be Poultrygeist, right? Okay, I see what I gotta do with that, at least. Now. Alright, pull that thing over this into place, and retract the bridge on this side. Oh, am I gonna have to go through these one by one? Yeah. A little funky. So unfortunately, we have to fight the model traps no matter what. Best shot. There's kind of a lot of really good ones, if I recall correctly. But I'm sure that there's some pretty crazy shit out there that I don't even know about. Offhand, one that I was thinking of seeing if I could abuse, depending if I could get the right stuff. Yeah, I was confused about the choice of calling it Sorcerer also. Like, this guy doesn't drive a truck full of nitroglycerin. This guy doesn't drive a truck full of nitroglycerin. That's not the reference. I'm sorry. I'm telling a very bad joke here. But, yeah, I guess it would probably be Magic Knight in later games, but for some reason, it's translated as Sorcerer here. Oh no, Queen Karnak is apparently it's surrounded by a purple ring. Yeah, Spellblade does kind of seem like it would probably also be the other one. But here we go. Here is Liquid Flame. Liquid! So, Liquid Flame is kind of an infamously painful boss. And the hand form, that's not good. Fuck. So... let's start off by doing some of this, and... oh god damn it, Ferris died. I didn't even... whoa, boy. That's rough. Get on guard here. Let's try to steal from it. It has nothing to steal. Fudge. So... aside from the fact that Ferris is our only rod carrier, when Liquid Flame is in the hand form, it takes, like, no damage from magic, if I recall correctly. That's a pretty big if, because remember that the last time I played this game was a while ago. Put it nicely. And also, look at how much fucking damage this thing does. It is disgusting. Here, can you cure 2? In the party, here? Yes, alright. You know what? Prep an Ice 2 sword just to say we did. Yes, I am probably a little bit low level, to be fair. But just in general, I think Liquid Flame is kind of acknowledged to be, like, sick, nasty, difficult for this part of the game, comparatively. And here we go. Just crack the Ice Rod on this thing, and look at that. 2220 damage. Yeah, so if you just chuck 2 Ice Rods at it, it'll just fucking die. As I said, those rods are strong as hell. And we love them for that. We get the Fire Bow, which I don't recall if we have a bow-wielding class right now, actually. Other than being a freelancer, I guess. She can do whatever the fuck it pleases. Just doesn't have abilities to start with, so... Evil force seeking out darkness. What's in the machine? Something evil is trying to use... ooh. Yeah, he wants to go in through the pipe. Careful going into the old steam pipe there. No good, it's full of steam. Wait. Alright, here we are, and it's enshrined around these ventilation vents, which is a really interesting sort of mashup of visuals there. And here's Starwolf. Wolf O'Donnell. Glad to see us, and knows Galoof, I see. Oh, who's this random soldier? Must be Exdeath. That's a much plainer looking dude than I thought. I mean, I know that, like, Exdeath in his default form, like, just like, hey, he's a big dude in armor, and on some level, I'm sure folks are like, oh yeah, it's kind of plain looking, but I don't know, that guy just looks like even a generic soldier by that sort of level. Oh no, Starwolf, you're gonna get squished. Uh-oh. It's alright, we're in the Karnak area, so They're used to everything being on fire around here, aren't they? Uh-oh. Guess we gotta go the other way. The other way. And there goes the fire crystal, everybody. And now, joy of joys, we have a timed section. And we have no save between killing Liquid Flame and the timed section. In fact, I'm going to cheat a little bit, everybody. I am going to I'm going to drop a quick save state in case we fucking die here. Oh, no, I should have done it a little bit later, I guess. I thought we didn't get our jobs until after that point. Oh, nope, maybe we do have to... Maybe we do have to bail. Yeah, 10 minutes to detonation. Oh, boy. Oh, never mind, there is a save point here. Okay, it seems the time doesn't count down that much in the menu. A little bit, but not a ton. Now, while we're here in the basement of Castle Karnak, there is a lot of shit that we can ransack. But on some level, we do gotta be a little bit careful because many of these chests are also trapped. First time you cut it real close. I believe it. And you can see we got some dogs just called Karnaks in this version, for some reason. Did they name the location after the dog, or the dogs after the location? Who can say? But more importantly, we got a sorcerer. 25? Why, that's as many as 5 5s! And that's terrible. Yes, thank you, Lex Luthor. Received an elixir. Well, I hardly know her. Yeah, I didn't know if there was anything else. Good for... Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that is some good timing. Monsters! Who knows? Oh. Game's having a bit of a hiccup there. As we got some Gigases, some Gigases. Gigases? No, that's different. Sorry. And by some, I mean one. I also like how this dude is just leaping, by the way. For a Gigas, typically a Earth-aligned enemy. Gigis, I mean... That might actually be kind of close to it. I forget... Because it is like an actual word in one of the ancient languages. I just forget anything useful past that in terms of information. In any case, we got another sergeant and some Karnaks here. That's probably going to be our only random encounter, right? Is just Sergiants and 3 doggos. I'm assuming that, like, all the good chests here are trapped, and we're going to be encountering some serious shit, as it were. But I'm also hoping that they will have some valuable items. That shuriken does not necessarily seem that important. And here we've got some sorcerers. They just out here driving a truck full of explosives at us. And we got a something bridge. I don't know. I still haven't seen Sorcerer yet. I gotta put that on the list, though. And we get a ribbon. Fuck yeah. That's great. And for a very easy encounter, too. So, like, you know. Alright, here we got another sergeant and three of his puppies that he's brought with him. For some reason. Stubborn, eh? And he booked it on out of there. I mean, you know what, dude? Fair enough. I wouldn't want none of what these four are selling anyway. And here's just one stray dog hanging out in the upstairs here. And you better believe I don't have maps or anything in front of me for this. So I'm legitimately just kind of guessing. As he's commanding his dogs to all attack the one dude. Nice guy. Real winner, you know? Real wiener. Alright. Let's hit him with a bit of this, and... yeah, it whacks a bunch from pretty nicely. Galoof, can you take this guy out real quick? No, unfortunately not. So... you punched a pretty big hole in you. And even swinging that massive ball at him, you still couldn't get him, huh? Damn. Ooh, 2K. We do like the money. Unfortunately, I think that Karnak is... and by I think, I mean that place is definitely not going to be available to us pretty soon. I hope that we have another place where we can buy rods, because that's going to be one of the big things that we want to do with our money. If we're able. And of course, other gear. But... there will come a time when those rods are not going to be too massive for us. Especially once we start getting our own tier 3 spells. But until such time, they are pretty valuable. And we got ourselves another Gigas, but this time we are on the wrong side of this dude. Alright, now Ferris, feed him some ice too. That should hopefully do a good chunk of damage to this Gigas. It's just like whenever Regigigas comes up and you've got to extend the name even further because... at least I do. I'm just like strangely honor-bound to do that, and I cannot explain it. Because I've been legally barred from doing so. If I explain it, lawyers will come up out of nowhere and be like, hey! In particular, it will be like the lawyer enemies from Earthworm Jim. They'll just start giving me the biz. Alright, we got dogs and a sorcerer. Fully dug it to face his own warrior enemies. Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, there's a lot of these dudes here. And I'm pretty sure they are not localized in later versions as Magic Knights. On the other hand, I don't own the Pixel remasters yet, so I don't know for sure. I do have access to the GBA version, both by virtue of emulation, and also because I own a reproduction cart of it that someone gave me for $1 many years ago. Yeah, this music is not really, the soundtrack is not firing on all cylinders here, I'll tell you that much. This ain't no Battle on the Big Bridge. On the other hand, I think part of it is just like hustle you along so that way you know, you just get so annoyed by the fucking music, you just go, okay, I gotta bail. Yeah, this is a good game, but I will say this, it is not above criticism. Oh, piss, I forgot to spread that. Whoops. Well, alright, you can just turn Lena into a frog, I guess. Fucking weirdo. You made me look like an idiot. Do this properly. See, it turns out that if you actually do your inputs correctly, you can actually win the fight a little better. You get an elixir. Another $2 grand. Honestly, I probably should just, like, work on getting the fuck out of here, shouldn't I? Oh shit, Lena's still a toad. I should fix that. I should really fix that. Oh, it's just these chuckle fucks. It'll be fine. Oh, pressing the correct direction there. Your controls are reversed. It's like you're facing the wrong way in a fighting game. Oh, that's a good sprite. Never mind, I'm glad I didn't change Lena back to not being a toad. They had to remove that status effect from Chrono Trigger because it didn't make a whole lot of sense with one of the characters. Bad jokes, I'm sorry. We got a lightning something. It was very heavily truncated, that's for sure. Alright, well here's Gigas coming in here. Doing his weird wavy shit at the screen. Do a weird protect trick. Oh, do I not have... I have to use a Maiden Kiss in order to break her out of being a frog, don't I? And you might be saying a frog and a toad are two different animals, and you're correct, but... I don't feel like changing that. Learn Isuna, hell yeah. That, can that turn Lena into not being a toad? Yes, it can. That is awesome. Unfortunately, I don't think it matters right now, basically, because we're gonna get into one more fight as we make our way out the door. Urianger just uses that on what's his name? Thancred constantly. Iron Claw! Oh, look at this thing! What an incredibly goofy looking fella. Oh, shit. Well, that's real good. Esna, hey, Ferris, get up, please. Doomclaw, I don't like the sound. Oh, that's just the same move, isn't it? Well, using the Iron Claw mount. Good. Yes, I guess this predates Isuna as the localization by just kind of a tiny bit. For some reason. It's what you would write if you required a character limit of only 4, I guess. Yeah, then I don't know, because I don't recall what it was like in FF4 on the SNES. FF4, or as it would have been known out here in the States at the time, Final Fantasy II. Because we skipped over releases of 2 and 3, although there were mostly complete translations of those that were finished. What do we got? We got the trainer. The Pokemon trainer. Later turned into Beastmaster, I believe. Presumably. Geomancer. Ah, yes, the Dirt Wizard. Actually, I think Meepo's title is Geomancer, so... Even though he's more of a beat people with shovels kind of character. Ninja! Hey, we can use that katana that we found a while ago, and I don't know why I pronounced it as katana instead of katana. Other than the fact that I'm extremely silly. Anyway, there's some castle bits here. We can't do nothing with those, but we can go to Karnak. And, are parts of the town no longer on fire, please? Did you guys clean that shit up? Yeah, like, you've got some sconces burning, but that's about it. There's not just random fire strewn about, thankfully. That was weird. Oh, is that guy our regular item shop back there? Please, sir. Yeah, this dude's selling regular items for us, so... we can buy ourselves some nice old status recovery items and some Phoenix Downs if we want to. Cornucopia. Okay, here's Mini, so... I think you can usually do that with the Mini spell, but we don't have access to that for a bit. So I'm going to grab a couple of those. And grab some softs. Some eye drops. I mean, I probably don't need most of those, but we'll take them anyway. A couple of tents. Phoenix Downs. You better believe I'm grabbing 10 of those just in case. Okay, can we go up here on the walls of the city, and is there anything to inquire from there? Ooh, free fire rod, yes. We like those. Taking the second floor of the inn. Yeah, that castle went kaboom. Like Happy Festival fireworks, yeah. Wall around the Library of Ancients. That, I think, is the next place that we go, but I could be wrong. Crystals are gone, the price of weapons and tools has been raised. Well, I don't like that. Let's see how bad it is. Oh, that's no change, actually. I guess because they were already making us pay the jacked up prices because they arrested us. So, yeah, no new gear for us to pick up, no new spells. Castle just blew up. Yeah, it was so sudden. And by that, I mean, it was like 10 minutes of us listening to that fucking music. So we can go out around... Oh, no, there's not much we can do out there. Never mind. Hey, Sid, the ship is still here. You got anything useful to say? You wish you'd never been born? Same, dude. I mean, that's a... Yeah, but I think I probably need to actually talk to him, so... Gonna have to go back and find him at some point, alright? Can we go back here? Are we allowed to re-enter the... Yes, we're allowed to re-enter this part of the ship. I don't know how far back we'd be allowed to actually go, but hey. I don't remember if anything here has worthwhile drops or anything, so I don't know if this is a useful place to fight. Well, let's just head on out of here. And we head off in this direction. I mean, this is a new looking area for us, so... we get back attacked by these chucklefucks. Wow, all that for 1 ABP? That seems quite low, but mostly because it was so many enemies. Hey, we got an elixir! Fuck yeah! That's what we like to hear. A Quadra Harpy. Is this the Dorn Chimera? Am I in that area? Or am I thinking too far ahead here? I spelled that. Look. Yeah, I did spell it wrong. Yeah, okay, this is the one. Yeah. So, oh, I'm just scrolling down to the stats for some reason. That doesn't matter. It has 1,000 HP. Big thing here is that, first of all, it's got Aqua Rake. Aqua Rake being, first of all, disgustingly painful, and second of all, that is better known to the world as Aqua Breath. We can also just blow this fucking thing up. Yeah, thank goodness it did just a little bit over 1,000 HP. Yo, we finally learned a blue magic. And it's Aqua Breath, which is a pretty nice one. Alright, here, just pick Lena up and do a little bit of this. Oh, oops. Yeah, it's not really the most, like, cost-effective. It is a whole 750 gil, but it is also a no-questions-asked solution. Excellent, we get ourselves a first strike on these basic enemies that we've encountered before, but hey. Oh shit, I forgot to re-equip Ferris with a sword. I'll fix that in a second. So I overemphasized the W in sword for some reason. Oops. Oopsie. Yeehaw. Give me that turtle shell. Unfortunately, I think Alchemist is a final crystal job. And I know the turtle shells are very good for use with certain Alchemist blends. I just can't remember what all of them are. I would assume that Alchemist is at the... Unless Alchemist is GBA only. She'll tell you how well I remember anything here, because that feels like very basic information to someone not remember, but hey. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not completely stupid. Was it? I assume that a lot of the combinations are still, like, very good in this version. Oh, yeah. Whoopsie, I have been kind of, like, speeding through a lot of those. Since it was Red Mage, I'm assuming that it was probably, like, Red Magic level 3 or something. I don't think that's fixed, actually. Or that might have been something that cropped up in the GBA version. Because there's definitely some, like, oddness that happens with that. Oh, is that what it is? Is it caused by Berserk? Okay. Good to know, though. Because, yeah, I don't recall 100%. Except that it's a thing that happens, so, yeah. Ooh, here we are. Here's the Library of the Ancients. Sid, why would you name your... Why would your grandson be named Mid? I guess grandson, you probably didn't name your grandson, so... But still. Imagine being named Mid. That's... Imagine being the person who just does that, right? Like... Rough. It's a ladder that leads us up to... Actually, can we examine the book there? No. Bards can't read that well. Apparently. Let's start poking around in here, and, This is how we're doing, huh? Fair enough. Get in there. Can't even read the room. I mean... Yeah, happens to a lot of people. I feel like there's almost a bit here like, hey, what do you want from him when he's named Bartz, or Butts, rather. Not Bartz, that's the corrected name. Anyway, it looks like we can't really from this side, so we're gonna go and take a look up here. Monsters have possessed some of your books. Bookshelf. Oh, thought you had a follow-up. Oh, well then I didn't figure out what it was. South of here, the town of Jakol. Find unusual things in the ruins there. Alright. Sense something... Well, do you sense it with your eyeballs? And reading it? Ah! You're guessing based on only half of the book being there. Fair enough. 30 years ago, the monster Byblos appeared at the Wind Shrine and was sealed down in the basement. The odd cane to a man from Tycoon. Ifrit, huh? Finally reached learning. Arrow, level 5. Ooh. We got an enemy here. It's a page enemy. I don't recall how to deal with this. I guess fire works. That makes sense because it's a book. Unless it changes throughout the battle. It looks like the sort of thing that it would. So, like, this could be... No, that's still pretty good. Hey, only needed 2 hits. Excellent. Nice battle background, by the way, with that gigantic book on the floor. That's pretty good. Well, I think I managed to find that one for you, sir, so... Oh, yes. Excellent. The pot is a restorative. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I forgot if I saved here, so... I'm going to do that again real quick. Plus, I mean, technically we made progress, so... I don't feel as silly just... saving like that. Alright. There we go. That... Okay. Let's fix things. That opens the way forward here. Into a partially lit area. Alright, well, that's excellent. Let's start gassing up here to be able to deal with things this way. In fact, I will not even have Ferris throw out a fire, too. We'll just go into clobbering time here. Yeah, the page 64 version, I saw cast level 5 death. Which is slightly nerve-wracking, but level 5 death is also a blue magic spell. Unfortunately, I believe you have to get hit by it, and then get rezzed later in the battle in order for it to actually be a thing that you can learn. There's also kind of the problem right now where my entire party is the same level, so digging for that might be a bad idea. I may have to get somebody to just get iced and have them basically just have them fall behind a little bit. I don't want Galoof to get murdered. I mean, I guess I could just murder him myself, but Galoof would be the guy that I get killed, by the way, because then he'd be able to res, well, Ferris or practically anybody. Yeah, well, it'd have to be at least Ferris. Is this place still accessible after I finish it, after I go beat Biblos? And anything else I have to do here, which I think includes Ifrit. Like, I believe you come back here later, too, but specifically, am I going to be able to do this for a while? No, so I may have to... Again, I may have to go beat up Galoof and go, like, gain a little bit of experience for everybody, and then just be like, okay, well, time to go mining for... Oh. Yeah, hey, look at that. The sprite is open in the closed in the dark and open in the light. It's fucked up. Okay, it is, so... highly accessible right after beating... Ah, yes, the machine tell... Well... permanently locked out after you beat the Pyramid of Mora later in the game. Well... I will assume all of this to be... You know what I'm saying. Alright, well, here's Ifrit. Let's fight Ifrit here. Basically, yeah, hey, if it's accessible, then as long as I remember to just not go beat the pyramid for a little bit, I could just do this shit after stream. And then you wouldn't have to watch me, spend all that time. Anyway, prep our Ice 2 sword here. I should probably try to steal from this guy, shouldn't I? I don't know where most of the good steals are in this game, and to be honest, I did kind of, like, stop trying to just do it to random enemies after a point, because it's like, oh, well, they got potions and stuff. But also, a lot of the bosses were just not giving me anything, so...
Oh, he's got a Phoenix down. That's kind of handy, actually. Do like those. It's the wrong direction to go there. All right, I shall impart my... He's like, okay, jeez. I was not aware of your game. Yeah, fair enough, dude. Gives us fire skill. Pick up his book. See the summon monster Ifrit. Hooray! Yeah, it's a very strange choice, to put it nicely. This translation is extra goofy. I mean, this game's already kind of on the sillier side by the standards of the Final Fantasy series. But the translation definitely makes it even goofier. No one may pass. Oh my god, Ifrit, go right through, sir. Thanks, guy. That's pretty silly by itself. Alright, here we go. Look at that guy just poking his nose out there like... A lot of fun enemies here. It's all the same enemy, but still. Just a second. I want to take a look at everybody's status here. As hell, depending on how long I'm in here. It could reach a point where it's like, okay, now I can just kick Galoof in the nuts until he falls over. And then get level 5 death that way. Level 5 death is one of those things that, like, I suppose that on paper I don't require it, but it is highly exploitable. It's very fun to mess around with if you know the right places to use it. Kind of like a lot of the blue magic, just in general, is it's like, well, its usages are fairly specific, but quite good, you know? Is it the best at the thing that it does? Well, it's up to you to decide if that's the case. Rip. You were pressing far too many buttons to do the bit. Well, I appreciate it anyway, though. Alright, what do we got here? We're getting back attacked by page 32. Alright, let's set up our Fire 2 sword here. Looks quite silly from this side. Because obviously its shading is for the facing the other direction. So while it's not that much different, it does kind of look like... I think it looks goofier. Save real quick, because it's right there. Actually, I am quite curious now, because... Reasons here. Okay, we got a couple of spells here. I didn't even realize. Other than Aqua Rake. We got Arrow 2, Arrow 1, and Doom Claw. Now here's my question. Is that applied to everybody, or is it... Yeah, okay, good. I wasn't sure. Then I just suddenly had this moment of like, oh god, is Ferris going to be our only person who can cast blue magic? Oh, there's Mid. There's something funny about this. Nobody's laughing. You clown. Alright, here we go. It's Biblos. Biblos. Nah, whatever, I'm just gonna... find that I... Since they don't have a Fire Rod? Oh, it must be... It says it further up in the inventory. No, I was gonna say I have multiple of those. I just didn't... They got sorted to a weird place. Well, whatever. Just... a little bit extravagant, maybe, but hey. That'll take a nice meaty chunk out of Biblos's... something or other there. He's giving himself the old protest, which is a very odd way of translating that. Is that some sort of... was there a different character limit for literally just FF5 on the SNES that I'm failing to realize? Wait, my Master Seal will be blown wide open. He's got a speech at us at the end of the battle and, you know, not even give us a chance to use our healing spell in the battle. Oh well. Darn. Received Sword 4. Heck yeah. As we get a hard body treasure. I mean, maybe, but... I just wanted to heal. Oh. Leers, please. How's it going, Leers? Let's re-up Ferris's, having a sword equipped status here. Because... I mean, unfortunately, we can't just use the rods out of the inventory. We have to equip them, but thank fuck we can do that all in one turn. Gotta be kidding. You didn't hear us... I thought something was banging around behind. Somebody came in here with some pots and pans. Get a load of this fucking clown. I guess at least Mid knows a secret route, which is nice. Anyway, Leers, how you doing? Hope you're alright. As we just throw that guy off the ladder, I'm sure that's safe. Yeah, I know, right? Again, gee, it would be nice if we could maintain a group for that sort of thing, you know? In this book, we should be able to repower the fire ship. How? Are we gonna, like, burn it or something? Because that's the thing that sounds like it would make the most sense in that case. Roundy, the 5ing is going pretty alright. Hope you're having a good time as well. I caught some amount, I forget exactly how much, of their stream of Alwa's Awakening. Looks pretty interesting. Always nice to see developers making games for vintage consoles in the present day. I mean, it's a little bit of a pity that I think that carts are kind of unavailable for a lot of those devs to, like, actually produce in quantity. Because I would love, again, in an era where we're looking at game hardware and shit being, like, increasingly inaccessible, all the new consoles are all going up in price, although I guess most people are playing shit on their, like, emulator devices nowadays, right? So, and by emulator devices, I'm not talking about, like, Bama clones. I'm talking, like, people with, like, Einthors and stuff. AYN. Very, very strange to me to see that, because it's like, I always complete that to ending in Rand, and it's like, that's a thing I really want to be reminded of anytime a gamer is involved. Because I'm sure that any gamer... Anyway. As for the new one... Now we be making a habit of being stumped. He hit his head on something, man. The new Cid, because they appointed a new one, right? The Council of... the Council appointed a new Cid. We have all congregated and we have decided that this week you're going to be Cid. I don't make the rules, but, I don't know where I'm going with this. Yeah, Leers, man, abiotic factor. Fucking A. The first time that when you went on vacation for that, you dropped it like you ducked at the exact right time, didn't you? I just think that's funny. Because it's not how you meant it to be, but it's like, man, on the other hand, it's just funny how that worked out. Anywho, I believe our next job here is to go and settle our asses back over to the fire ship, right? Clearly, because that's... Well, no, Sid got off the fire ship, didn't he? Let me do a big, loud thonk here. But yeah, I'm genuinely curious what the deal is with the Abiotic Factor DLC. Because they've had a couple of DLCs before, but they were literally just, like, places for you to build. The amount of content that was added there was, like, almost none. From what I recall, big asterisk attached to that. Anyway, the Dorm Chimera. Yep, there it is. That's okay, we know how to handle this chucklefuck, right? That's right, we're gonna throw money at the problem. Kaboom! And get out. God, it's not even worth 200 gold, so like... That thing just fucking mugged us. It's okay, we got a Phoenix down though, that's worth $1,000, so like... Technically we came out on top, but then again... On the other hand, it's like... Well, listen bitch, were you actually gonna buy that fucking Phoenix down? It's only a profit if you were going to actually spend the money on it, you dumb cunt. Anyway, sorry. That extra yes is in my cheer of yes. Just like every time. Yes! Yeah, see, that zoo is almost worth more money than the... Worth about as much money as the fucking Chimera. And it's so much easier to just clobber it over and over. Well... let's replenish our supply of rods here. I don't know what's the best elements for any of these to have. Other than, obviously, Ice Rod is kind of the king when it comes to dealing with old Mr. Hands there, or whatever it was called. I forgot. Liquid Flame. There you go. That guy who's a pain in the ass. And the rest of your body. Now that we're over here, I'm gonna once again indulge in my worst habit and save again. Alright, vote. I forgot something, clearly, and I'm coming here because I think this is the right place to go. But that's okay. It's mostly a consequence of me being an idiot, so... Aren't these dusts so cool? God, this translation is so goofy sometimes. And by sometimes I mean... well, I think you know what I mean. Well, let's just say... my fire rod. Hey, there's Galuf gaining a level. Excellent. Oh yeah, level 5 death seems like a good idea to get together. Oh hey, Lena is actually behind on experience compared to everybody else. She could be the one that we use for doing that. We could just... And yeah, the Defeater, which is, apparently it is just Defeater in Japanese. I mean, it's pronounced a little bit differently because of obvious reasons, but...
Get what I'm getting at. There's Lena getting up to 19. There's us not having to fight a Dorm Chimera. Love when that happens. He's just getting a first strike. A lot of very simple battles here, but hey. That's totally fine. Farm ourselves up some more turtle shells, because those, like I said, I'm pretty sure those are very useful for the chemist. 2300 for you. Is Ferris going to be the... No, Ferris is going to be the second to level 20. I was going to say, she's going to be the first to level 20 by a hair, and that's not correct. Turns out I'm dumb and I barely know what numbers are. So. Ah, we got some mithril dragons here in the forest. Don't know how tough these guys are. Let's test the waters. The waters that are made of me hitting them with a bunch of swords and stuff. They are pretty... Ooh, that is a very, very serious shift in damage between which one's getting hit. And they use an ability called Pep Up, which I believe is a sacrificial healing move. So I'm not sure if I can Beastmaster those guys yet. These guys yet, rather. or if I would need to raise that up some. The answer is probably yes, I'd have to raise it a bit. You're on New Game Plus in Ultima Plus FF4. Well, neat. How is that going so far? Okay, so I think Beastmaster doesn't even take that long to raise, so... Jobs. We'll have Galoof be the Beastmaster here. And you can have White Magic, I guess. And you're equipped with a whip. Yeah, I really only need it for the purposes of having control. Is what's that take? 60? According to what I've pulled up here. And I mean, knowing me, even though I have a high-level White Magic ability, I'll just keep White Mage for basically the entire game anyway, so... Big whoop. Silent B. This is an enemy I haven't seen yet. Because you know what? I said I wasn't going to show this on stream to, you know, getting level 5 death, but I decided, nah, I actually will. And yeah, a nice thing about the whip is that it can paralyze, as you saw from that. Not necessarily always helpful, but under the circumstances where it's good, it's very good. Well, it's at least helpful.
I did not, but I just sort of noticed that Galoof was behind enough that I was like, I think I can get away with this. I can just do things the natural way. Yeah, 1650 the next level. 1910. Lena is behind even more. And so yeah, it wasn't really Galoof that I was like, he's... I mean, I guess I could just punch Galoof in the face real quick and put him and Lena on basically equal ground. You know, because they're basically the same character. Wait, what? Yeah, here, let's kick Galoof in the nuts real quick, and... You know, just for one battle. Again, we got our swords folk here. This'll be fine. Glastos, our glass Astos over there. Or something, I don't know. And you know what? Sure, we'll go one more fight. One more tiny little instance of Galuf being, you know, consuming dirt. So that way he, as the party's resident white mage and fist guy, will be primed and ready to do the thing. Ferris, you can just raise him real quick. There we go. And a Cure 2. Actually, I can... It's his magic right now, because he's got that equipped. He's got better MP. I was going to say, make sure that he has white equipped as his other... And now, things should be a little bit better there. Yeah, Galoof is, like, the furthest back from level 20. It's alright. Hoping for perpetual everybody at the same level always, that's just never gonna happen. Come on. Don't be ridiculous. Or do. I'm not your boss. I can't tell you what to do. Yet. Although I do like Galoof's little, like, sheep suit that he's got. Pretty good outfit choice there. Very funny. I do appreciate that that was what they decided with for a Beastmaster outfit is, yeah, sheep costume. Right? Gotta be real itchy. I mean, I suppose so, yeah. Alright, what's everybody sitting at for experience? 612 for Ferris. And that really is the important part here, huh? Galoof hasn't even hit level 1 on the trainer yet. Yes, we've literally only been in 8 battles. Didn't realize it was so few. Just a couple more and then we'll be able to go and do this. We landed the paralyze, so we didn't need to. Hey, well there's our taming ability there. You can do some funny stuff with that if I recall correctly, but you know, hell if I know the whole amount of stuff that you can. That is unfortunately not the control ability, which is what we really need that for. I need for that guy. Let's get filled up. Make our lives a little bit easier here. It should be a nice fast fight. And Galoof seems to at least do enough damage to the bees to one-shot them, which is nice. I was wondering what the item was. It's a soft, that kind of makes sense. think 2 to 3 more will get us there. I just forget exactly how many because of many reasons. Most of them being that I'm dumb. Dropped random quotes after battle instead. That'd be really something. Well, I think that tentacle attack inflicts the target with old, so that's interesting. Oh god. What, does the old status change to being called older when it hits Galoof, by the way? Alright, you love that nice long end of battle set where we can get our turtle shells that we're not going to be able to put to use for a little while. Alright, you're 15 away, so that's literally one fight. Meanwhile, I just want to double check that everybody else is like a safe distance from that. 360 and 400 some. Yeah, we shouldn't get into a fight that gives us that much experience right now, so I think I'm safe to just do this. Save the game just to be absolutely sure. Alright. So, yeah, now we should be in a totally fine position to go to save first. Just to be absolutely sure. The other way. The other way. Alright. Now here we are back in the underground of this area. Get our first strike in, and bonk this guy a couple of times. Now everyone sit around and defend for a moment. I'm about to say, while I wait for him to cook. Also, yes, for those of you who are unaware, I have no idea why I forgot to say this earlier, but for any FF14 folks who have never played this game, yes, a large part of the Great Gooble Library is based on stuff from this place.
so that's neat. It's got a lot more mechanics in 14 compared to this, which, I mean, to be fair, it's a little straightforward. Hey, there we go. Alright, now, raise Ferris. And that should be all we need to do. Just have Lena kick this thing's butt real quick. You have juniors for the first time. Interesting, Roundy. Well, as always, I hope everything goes well with that. And there we go. We learned level 5 Doom, as this version of the game calls it. Because, again, very Noah-affected translation there. And they really did not want to say the word death because of reasons. Like, sure, they'll depict a shocking amount of it on screen. Like, obviously, it's a little bit hard to edit games to a certain extent, because I was watching some of good old stream friend Plastic Al and Plasticillion playing Final Fantasy VI recently. And, like, man, a lot of fucking people die in that game. And they can only hide it so much. But they sure don't want to say the word death. And I guess also because I'd say Earthbound's been on my mind lately, but it basically always is. When I almost said Mr. Carpainter. No, Everdread, when he dies in Foreside. In that very weird sequence. They're all basically talking around the idea of death in, like, no one... They're talking about it, but they're not using the word. And then for some strange reason, I think that one of them uses the word died, but you're not allowed to say, is he going to die? Basically, standards and stuff of this era, of that era, were weird. You're gonna be ecstatic to not have the other guy? Well, hey. Overall, things sound pretty positive in most regards there. So, yeah. Now that we've got level 5 death, we, well, that's very useful, but I don't remember all the things that are, like, super susceptible to it. I feel like I've got to, at some point, go through and, like, pull up a list to have that ready and just be like, okay, here's where oh, hey, here's a boss that's coming up that I can do something really funny to. Because on top of the fact that level 5 death is, like, a very early instant death spell, my experience with that type of spell throughout the Final Fantasy series is usually that style is a little bit stronger than your average death spell. Which, granted, I mean, those are usually not that great. A lot of RPG series kind of make it very hard for you to have a real appreciation for status effects most of the time. And certainly when you do have that level of appreciation, it's only for a few. But anything that's an instant kill, even for, like, generic enemies, yeah, that shit never works. Almost. That's the sort of thing that's, like, you use that exclusively for, like, challenge runs. It will crop up as being, like, this weirdly very, very good thing for certain challenge runs. Like, I think about the fact, the one that I was thinking about earlier today, in fact, and I'm not completely sure why I was
suddenly thinking about this, is that there are quite a few of the myriad super bosses in Final Fantasy X that are available in the arena that you can just hit with Doom from various sources. And while they have a Doom count of like 255, it does work on them. I don't know if that's necessarily my favorite way of spending an afternoon, but it works. So hey, if you're looking for an easy way to win one of those fights, do that, you guard a bunch, and you probably still die, because most of those enemies are complete fuckers. Ooh. Okay, I guess Cid is in Karnak Town, and I just didn't notice where he was. Because I'm dumb. Yes, I did just go check this, just to be sure. Yeah, have you seen enough of this fight yet? Honestly, yeah, you probably have, but hey. Are they learning anything? I sure fucking hope so, Retro. Again, to update anybody who has not heard about this, Round the Wheel is an English teacher. He does have a little bit of the misfortune to be a guy who's got to teach him in Texas, which is probably a rough fucking go for him, but you know, he's doing what he can for these kids, you know? Yeah, meanwhile, Cid is still depressed, and here's Mid, who has finally managed to get his way over here. Yeah, see, if I hadn't done a big dumb and forgotten where the heck Cid went, so... You silly old fool! I guess he is looking a little bit older than Galoof. If you fail, you'll just have to try again. I mean, he's kind of onto something. It's not a bad philosophy, really. Yeah, there's still the Earth Crystal. And I mean, the fire ship is about as much as we've got in terms of vehicles here. Unless we can get the Chocobo to... Unless we can get Boko back here in a canoe or something. Maybe a surfboard. Can we just get like a surf chocobo in the future? That might be a little bit silly even for this series. Hey, Wizard Man. Yeah, I mean... Alright. Let's get in the ship. I've been keeping up on the piano. I have not. I forgot to do any of the stuff with the pianos. I should do that, shouldn't I? It's alright. Surely I'll be able to go backwards at some point. We get the Black Chocobo not too far in the future, I think, and that should allow us to... Well, then again, I don't know if I'd be able to land in certain... You can land in any forest, right? What's up, Galoof? Odd. More than usual, yeah. His Galoof's head just sort of, like, opens up some way, I guess. Did that remind you of something? Ah, okay, good. They do translate it correctly as Kryl here. There's some translation where it's Kara for some reason. And I don't completely understand what's up with that translation other than, you know, they weren't always sure in all of this back in the day. Hey, Baylor Fortnite. Nice one, Roundy. He's got jokes. Alright, Galoof, you got the big lore drop from... Aw, oh, jeez, did he hit his head again? Came by meteorite from another planet. 30 years ago. The Black Mage, X-Death. Well, see, they'll say death there, but... They won't call the spell level 5 death? Okay. Also, can't we become a Black Mage? So, like... That's a title that could probably use a little bit of a tweak. Excuse me. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Not the but maybe he's just getting seasick. No, it's because trying to remember is painful. Alright, these two cornballs are asleep here. But we can actually wake Sid up. And he'll wake Mid up. Yawn, I slept great. That's the thing I wish I could say more often, but hey. Alright, well, we get access to the fire ship. So, although it's a type of vehicle we've had before, it is a new vehicle. That's what I was saying. There's a crap load of them in this game. Anyway. Play the piano here. Oh, neat. I think that gives us abilities for the Bard or something. Which is this interesting way of, developing things. You have a dozen air... That is true. There's a shitload of airships in 4. And then you get to 6 and they're like, okay, we gotta dial it back a little bit. So not only in FF6 are there only like 2 types of vehicles in the form of you've only got Chocobo and airships, but there's only 2 airships, I think. Yeah, this is what they decided to localize these to Haggans as, just fins. Yes, highly descriptive, thank you. These enemies are a little bit beefier. Only a little bit, though. We can deal. Alright, this will be the Karnak Meteor. We should be able to take this and fast travel backwards. And that will let us go and play some more piano in a couple of places real quick. Yes, we are this early on into the playthrough, and I am indeed going into the world of side quests here. Oh hey, plus we can get on our Windrake again. Nice. I mean, I know Windrake is only like Draft Shaft, but I mean, hey, whatever. Flyer, right? Oh, wrong one, but hey. Just come in here and play this piano in the middle of the bar. Nobody will mind. I just gotta remember that the place I have to go when I'm done here is back to the Meteor. There's the Wind Shrine. Again, if we want to grind elixirs, we can do that. That ain't why we're here. We're here looking for pianos to play. Oh, we're not able to get to that one. This is just a castle, right? Yeah. I'll surrounding that. Oh. Platform that looks a bit like a wrench to go back to walls here. Gotta take a dip, don't we? Yeah, there's no big energy source in town here, right? Because the water is gonna stop moving somehow. Somehow it makes sense, I guess. Is there no pub in this town? Where's the piano in the inn? I guess that's where I'll check next. Nah. I was just thinking it because it's one big continuous building. Right? One heck of a structure, huh? Well. Back to the meteor. Alright, get back on the boat. Board this little passageway here. Yes. It's a bit of an awkward fit. Hey, nice. We got some more throwable lightning items. Helpful. Probably. Probably helpful. Take a bit of a tour around here. Yeah, we got a lot of doggos here. This... Should probably get back to that boat. Oh yeah, nothing going on up there. Oopsie. I really parked this ship a little far away from where I was. Oh well.
Wow, we're getting a lot of those as we go here. Ouch! That was a lot of damage that you just took there, Galoof. Presumably from that Corvette up there. Which is our new enemy, I guess. Alright. Keep clobbering all those guys. Air wing. Fuck! Very painful. Oh, man. Unfortunately, that's both of our white magic casters down, so I would have to throw out a whole Phoenix down for that. And be honest with you, I am not completely certain that we wouldn't just get hit by another AoE move and then lose everybody again. Oh, God. We're really pushing our luck here. Ouch! That thing is crazy fucking strong. You kidding me? That's so out of place. Well, let's end our goofing session a little bit here. And just go see if we can't find our way over to where we're supposed to be. Because we did save after all the cutscenes, right? No, I think we only saved after getting level 5 death, huh? Well, yeah, that was a little stupid of me. I will get back to place with that for next time, I think. Just that way you don't have to see it again.